Hey everyone, Tess here. So, I am, I'm fat. So, I decided I no longer want to be fat. For a long time, up until about, I want to say about a year ago, I never really cared that I was fat. Um, Never really bothered me. Then someone made a comment one day, and that kind of stopped in my tracks, Um, and it was, you're cute. Just got a lot of weight on you. You're funny. You're a very interesting person. Just got a lot of weight. And I'm wouldn't say I'm aromantic. I'm definitely asexual, but I'm someone who does kind of want to settle down with someone. You know, I want that lifelong partner. Even though I do have Keith, he's that's very much a platonic. I want a non-platonic partner at some point. And they said that. I was like, okay, I'll definitely go take that advisement. Sorry, my truck literally. So, that I want to do something, and I was kind of digging into it, and I kind of do being fat came with a lot of health problems. And I always kind of followed that under, oh, I don't want to live forever anyways. The idea of living like at 80, 90 years old seems very unpleasant to me. I've always joked that I don't plan to live past 50. But I realized how soon like a lot of these health problems can show up. I'm 30 years old. And I was like, okay. So I got history of Alzheimer's on at least one side of the family. Got a history of heart problems and heart disease on both sides of the family. And being fat um, kind of speeds that process up. And on top of that, with my ADHD, I've got both autism and ADHD. There's been some studies that show that a couple of these symptoms from ADHD can cause higher rates of Alzheimer's. Not by much, but can do that. And being fat doesn't help. So I was digging through all this, thinking about what this person told me. It reminded me something a friend told me one day, and he meant it as trying to be nice. Climbed into his Sebring, and he said, I watched my suspension sag as he got into my car. I was like, okay, yeah, funny asshole. I know I'm fat. But he said, no, my car lowered noticeably when you climbed in. And I said, ha ha ha. Okay, let's kind of get going. And I'm tired of being fat. I weighed myself a couple weeks ago. Actually, a couple months ago, because I was donating plasma. And I was 360 pounds. And I realized I'm close to an actual ton. And don't want to weigh a ton. Despite not really caring that I weigh a ton. But I mean like the literal measurement of a ton. And I kind of went on a calorie deficit. Dropped down to about 345. I was like, heck yeah, I'm actually starting to feel better as I'm going this rate. But I really didn't change anything in my life. Like I drive one of those fucking things every day. And I weighed myself again. Back to 350. In fact, weighed myself about a week ago. It was back up to 354. And I stopped in my tracks again. It's like, I'm exhausted. Like, I have been exhausted for years despite sleeping. And I'm proud of the fact that I'm one of the few millennials that's able to get at least 8 hours of sleep. Because I make sure I get 8 hours of sleep. You know, again, like, I'm worried about my mental health. I've seen family members go through, okay, I see it firsthand. I've got family on both sides that's dealt with Alzheimer's. And one of the things that's recommended, getting 8 hours of sleep. And I was like, but I'm still exhausted every day. And it turns out, being this big doesn't help. And I want to get better clothes. You know, I'm tired of having to dress masculine. I want to dress more feminine, like the more the way I feel. And I started caring when I truly came out. But trying to find clothes, even masculine clothes that look somewhat decent, not my size. When it comes to shirts, I'm between 4 and a 5X. You know how often it's like, cool, I found this really cool t-shirt. And it maxes out a 3X and realize, I can't wear this? And I was like, what can I actually do? Believe it or not, what everyone says the first thing to do is exactly what I've been doing for the past 6 minutes and 51 seconds. Just walking. They're like, I don't have a lot of time to walk. Like, I'm sitting in a truck every day. Like, most of my exercise comes in when loading that fucking thing up. You know, at the beginning of the day, walking around it, doing my pre-trip. After that, it's like, what, 10 minutes on a dock at a time? If that. Because I got a race to get to my next stop, to climb back and sit again. Then I realized, wait, how many times do I get to a post office and not open? Sure, not a lot of their yards are nice and big as this one, where I could actually, do something. Even if it's, lapping a handful of times before they get in. Yeah, they're going to ask what are you doing. It's like, get my steps in. Most of them are going to go, okay. The fucking post office all locked up. And they know I'm not going to risk my job committing a goddamn felony. By the way, FD&D on a mail facility is a felony. That's federal land. In fact, I'll show you a sign next time I go around. But tampering with mail, you don't want to fuck with that, man. And they know that. They know that I know that. That's like day one of orientation here on Amazon. And I was sitting in that truck, decided I'm 30 years old. Guess what game I've never played before? Actually, truly played. I did the opening a couple times. I've never played Pokemon. And I realized, I got one of these. I don't fucking play. I got it because I want it as a thing on my shelf. Because I'm a gamer. Even though I've never played it. It's like, cool. Yeah, how easy one of these is to fucking mod. So I said, I want to play some Pokemon. I was doing that, just started Omega Ruby. It's like, again, I came to a stop like, I'm not due to deliver until 4. It's like 2:30. Why don't I just fucking walk? Why don't I lap this fucking parking lot? Again, everybody says the first step to losing weight is cardio. Cardio, calorie deficit. And I know how to do one of those. I know how to walk. The second one is also really easy. First things first is we'll take into account how many calories you eat. And realize, at 350 pounds, you don't need to eat a lot of you don't need to eat a lot of calories to still be healthy and to be in a deficit. I don't exactly remember the name of the amount of calories I actually need to eat to stay healthy, but it's not as many calories I'm actually eating a day. And in the past week, I realized I eat a lot of fucking junk food. Pretty much live out of vending machine. When it comes to the truck stop where I usually get my provisions, and realize all this shit's actually really unhealthy. A lot of it's processed. And the one thing I do like eating here, I can make one for myself. One, for a lot cheaper. Two, a whole lot healthier. For the exact same goddamn product. By the way, U.S. property, no trespassing. That's felony. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing that. Because I forgot the name of the brand of it, but it's chicken, rice, cheese. Goddamn combo. Damn good combo. All wrapped up in a tortilla. Hell yeah. I love chicken. We used to come around on rice the last couple of years. I thought it was a boring food. Nah, you just know how to cook it right. Know what to do with it. And come on, everybody likes cheese. No, it's not the healthiest thing, but it's high in protein, low in fat. Well, besides for the cheese. I'm always going to use cheese as my cheat food. God damn, I love cheese. So if you're with me, you know, the same boat as me, looking for ways to lose weight at 350 pounds, join me on this. Join me on this journey. Because we don't have to be fat. You know, been walking for about 12 minutes now. It's a sad state in this country. It really is. And it's just not the United States. The United Kingdom has an obesity problem too. And a lot of it comes down to one simple fact. The fatty food, the food that tastes good, that is absolutely horrible, vein clogging, gut building, fat building foods. The ones that's not good for you, the ones that everyone goes on TV, how are you poor by eating this junk food, blah, 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 is the food that is the cheapest to get. When you look at actual healthy food, like, I'm a sucker for them. I really am. I have been a sucker for them since I was a kid. Carrots. A healthy, delicious, oh my god, my mouth is watering just thinking about carrots. And I've always been that way. Expensive. Apples. I love apples. And a lot of fruits, like apples, are victim to human engineering to be higher in sugar than they used to be, because sugar foods taste a lot better. But actual healthy food, high-grade chicken, non-processed, chicken breasts, chicken patties, burger patties. Shit, a lot of even ground meat is processed. Like, a lot of the unprocessed, actual healthier alternatives are really expensive. But what go to Sam's, go to Walmart, get for cheaper, are not all that expensive. They're relatively cheaper. But they build up fat. And then a lot of Americans, because and this is, I wouldn't say uniquely American. I hear Australia and Canada have a lot of the same issues, where we just don't live in walkable cities. And where I live, I realized, hey, if I go right over here, it's not that far from my house, I can walk down a riverfront, gorgeous views, roaring river, absolutely amazing. I get to what I'm personally calling my halfway point. There's a little breakfast joint there. It's hipster as fuck, but it's actually kind of lovely. Get there, get myself a quick snack, maybe a bottle of water, sit down for a little bit, carry my laptop, work on the novel I'm trying to write, turn around, walk back. Walk itself should be more than about 25 minutes one way. And that would let me think about, listen to audiobooks. I'm always listening to audiobooks. And think about the story. Doesn't sound like a bad plan. I pace my apartment all the time when I'm trying to write in it. Why not take it to the extreme? Leave my house. Yeah, it involves putting shoes on it. For fat folk like us, that's a lot of work. But walking's free. Now, people, excuses. I'm a proponent of a big one. Shoes. Getting the right shoes to walk in at our weight sucks. But do you know what we do? Do you know what one of our major expenses is, surprisingly? Is shoes. Because at our weight, shoes aren't built to take our weight. Go down to Skechers. Go to Walmart. Buy a pair of decent shoes. Then a pair of Dr. Stolz insoles. Slide them right in there. You know what that's going to do? Add padding. Because again, at our weight, we feel every goddamn step in our heels. And we do. We absolutely do. You know what I'm not feeling right now? Steps. And it feels really nice. Part of it is because I'm wearing my work boots, but do I feel doing that exact same thing? I didn't feel the steps because I added extra padding, which is important. You don't have to walk going on 17 minutes like I'm doing right now, but at least 5-10 minute stints. Trust me, you're going to feel a lot better at the end of it. Alright guys, I'm going to catch you guys next time. At 3:55 right now. Where are you at?